That's right. American Moustache Leatherworks here again, coming at you. We're gonna make a mustache wax case. Check that out. This fits mustache wax. In this particular brand, its outer diameter is, I believe it's 2 1/8, and it's got a real snug fit. And you push it out right through this little button. This is based on an Al Stolman snuff case, so this was made much bigger. Didn't have the key ring aspect to it, but we're gonna make that today. So if you guys want to learn how to make it or just want to watch it, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Let's build. Alright, so let's get started. We got this vegetable tan leather here. It's from Tandy's. It's a 3/4 ounce leather. It's going to be perfect for this project. So first what we're going to do is we're going to oil this, dye this, then oil it and wax it. Alright, and this is going to be black. Cool. Alright, we always start with the neat's foot oil. This takes just a couple coats, and then that dye is really going to be much more fuller looking, much more deeper color. This will help let that dye really set in there as well. The way I'm applying it, I just cut off a corner of a microfiber cloth, and it does the trick. Okay, now let's get the dye going. Yeah, almost black. Alright, we're gonna let that dry for a little bit. Okay, it's looking good. Let's give it one last run with the black. I want it a little bit darker than that. It's going to get darker when we add mink oil. Alright, the next step is get a little bit of this mink oil here. It's silicone, lanolin, pure neat's foot oil, and mink oil, whatever mink's oil is. I'm unsure at the moment. Let me get a nice dose of this. We're going to get a sponge and just get an even coat there. I'm going to do one last thing, and that's throw down this Aussie leather conditioner. Very beautiful stuff. And I'm just going to apply this just like that. Gonna let that stuff settle in. Okay, so most of that wax is all soaked in what it wants to. We're just gonna wipe off the rest. Looks good. What do you think? Well, that is absolutely wonderful. I use sharps in there. There's a ton. Look at how easy this is. This is called the Kiwi Ergo. It's pretty cool. It's ready to go. This is going to be our inner. Now I have to dye this side. Let's go ahead and get that dyed. dry. Okay, so now that this is nice and dry, we're going to go ahead and smooth out that inner thing. And what we're going to use to do that is a little slicker, glass slicker. Just going to keep it in there. And a little bit of coconut. Is that shiny? Can you see the shine in there? There it is. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to bevel okay. Now I'm going to use that same tokenol with a wood slicker. Got this big one made by my buddy Jeff Ray. When I showed him the drawing of what I wanted him to make, I had to assure him that it wasn't what you think it is. It's for leather crafting. Ready to start working on this thing a little more. Alright, so first things first, we're going to get a measurement around our can. And there's no template for this because it can be done with all sorts of stuff. So we're gonna give ourselves a good shoot. Let's say like right about there. There we go. We're gonna cut it off right at that mark. So let's go ahead and do that right there. That's how we'll do it. Okay, so now that that's skived down, real thin there, real thin like, is that focusing there? There we go. In which we are going to stick this little thing across this back line I made, which is just a couple millimeters away from that line, so I got something to cut. Alright, so this is going to go around this. This should be close to set by now. That's how it's going to sit. And the next step is we're going to cut off a bit here as well. So let's choose this guy here. Just like before. Great. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to burnish both of these edges, and then we're going to cut it straight down the middle. So much to do. Let's go. Okay, so these edges are just looking super nice. Oh boy. Alright, so now I need to cut this in half. Okay, so now that we've got these two top parts almost ready to go, what we're going to do now is we're going to install a snap. That's going to go right there. And I'm going to roughly mark where I'm going to want that bad boy to go. So, right about there. Alright, so now this is our situation. We've got the bottom of our case ready to go here. Now we can make the top and bottom panels. What we're going to do here is measure this out with the ruler. We're going to divide that in half, and then I'm going to take my wing calipers there and we're going to make some circles. So this looks like this is 64 centimeters. Half of that, 32. Let's go right there, boom, 32. Now we can make some circles here. I've got all 4 of the discs ready to go. Now they're going to be glued back to back. Alright, these are nice and dry. Alright, I'm going to sand these and then we're going to get started, but it's bedtime, so we'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright, it's the next day, and what we're going to do now is we're going to sand this down. It was cut a little bit past where it needed to be, which is good. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut out holes for the display of the case and then something to help you push it out. So just a hole that's about the size of your middle finger. So I'm going to take the size of this here, boom. Okay, so now that I've got the 2 holes punched out, sanded up, I'm going to burnish them up. Alright, now I've got to plan out So we're going to need to make a hinge for this case here, and as you can see I like to use a split ring in there, so we need to make that. I'll get a split ring, and that's how that's going to go. Boom, boom. First we're going to need to burnish these edges here and dye them. Okay, so let's stick them together. Alright, now that we've got that bottom panel of the case sewn up, we're going to go and place the top panel lid just like that. Alright, now we've got the holes ready here. We're going to adhere them together. Alright, so I've gone ahead, I'm getting ready to glue the key ring hinge on here, and then also going to glue on a little snap button. There you go, I gotta get close for y'all to see. And that's how you make it right there. Now we're just going to do some cleaning up. We're going to clean up these edges, make them real nice and smooth, tamp down the stitching a bit. Alright, we've got some wonderful looking edges here. So now I'm going to seal this whole little buddy up here with some Resolene. I like to apply that with some paintbrushes. Get in the inside here first. And this is also why I didn't wax any of the edges when I was burnishing. Basically, they're going to be finished with this acrylic.